Hi, I'm Sir Classy, and you're welcome to my mini course. In this course, I'll show you how I'm going to make a beat from scratch using FL Studio 20. Let's get started. All right, so we're going to pick out the sample for making our drums. Typically, I use battery 4 from Native Instrument to make my drums. You can use the regular channel rack and drag and drop samples, but I prefer the quality I get from battery 4 from Native Instruments. So we just look for the kick first, and we'll look for the percussions, snare, and clap, and yeah, everything else we need. So let's look for the kick and others. All right, so we're done picking out our samples, and we may not use all of it, and we may even add some more later while we start making the drums. We may swap out some, we may not use some, or we may even add some more. So yeah. So while picking out the kick, I made sure the kick was short and sharp. Like if you listen to the kick now, they are both short and sharp. I'm using two kicks because like if I want to maybe play like double kick so that they can have flavor, although I'm not going to layer the kick. I do not advise you to layer your kick, but I'm just going to have like two kicks so I can like play around with them to give the beat even like a different bounce. Then the snare too, the snare they're also short and sharp, like they do not sustain at the same time. They're very sweet in the mid range. Then I have some congas and shakers. I'm going to make an Afrobeat, so you need some percussions with some snare, and the snare should have kind of like more of the percussion feel than the typical snare feel. So yeah, just a really simple um, selection here. Kick, some snares that we may layer, we may just use separately with like congas and shakers. So that's pretty much it for the drums for picking out sounds. So now let's get started with making our drum loop. All right, so after picking out our drum patterns, we're going to pick out a tempo. So I'm going to select or play within 90 to 110 BPM. So I'll start with 97. I may change the BPM as time goes on, but I'll start with 97. Then I'll build out my drum loop, see how it sounds. If I need to speed it up, I increase the BPM. If I need to slow it down, I reduce the BPM. It's that simple. So let's get started with making our drums. right, so I think that's enough for now for the drums. So because like they're already selected in the drum pad. So if I was to play it back, you see the drum pad moving. So I just like these notes here, they trigger the drum pads. For example, um, okay, let me put this in window mode. So for example, if I were to hit maybe a note, so you can see that they all trigger the drum pad, the notes on the drum pad. So I just like played my drums to arrange it in the piano roll here. So a common way to also create your drums is to create them like in the regular pattern mode. But I won't do that in tutorial. I really prefer making my drums using battery. And you can also export your sounds in battery. And you can also drag sounds from external packs. Let's for example, I want maybe this kick sound. So I can just drag it and drop it here and you see it's already here. So what I need to do now is now that I've created my drums, we'll go on to creating melodies for these beats. We'll create like a chord progression, we'll create the melodies around it, and then we'll talk about the song structure, do a little mixing here and there, and then we export the beats. So let's see what the kind of melodies we can create, but I'll take out this drum sound. I don't need it right now, so I simply just delete. Yes. All right. So let's go on to creating melodies, shall we?